When you're in Outback Queensland with the wide open spaces, it might not seem like there's much to do at all, but there's plenty to see and do around Mount Isa. There's a thriving tourist industry here and plenty of beautiful and culturally significant locations. So, let me show you my favourite places around town. The start of any great adventure involves coffee, and I've come down to start our adventure exploring Mount Isa here at the Extra Mile Cafe.
Aussies absolutely love their coffee, and Mount Isa is no different from the bigger cities across the country. The cafe scene here offers a variety of options to choose from stopping in for a takeaway on your way to work, or sitting down to have some brunch. I've covered the top cafes in town in a previous video, so you can see them more in depth there, link in the description. But my favourites are Bambino Espresso, the Extra Mile Cafe, and Grant's Cakes and Pies. The coffee at all those places was top tier and their menus were pretty great. So if you're looking for a great coffee in town, I'd recommend trying out one of those. Prices were fairly reasonable across the board, with a cup of coffee setting you back around $4 or $5 and the meals ranging from anywhere between $10 for something like a wrap to $30 for a big breakfast. So, if you're looking for something to do in Mount Isa, you can always stop by at one of their great cafes.
Just going to pause the video for a minute here. If you're enjoying the videos, please give it a like. Subscribe to the channel, it really does help us out. Alright, back to the action. Good morning everybody. I'm bringing you down now to the next location that we're going to have a look at around Mount Isa. It's Lake Moondarra. So let's jump out of the car and have a look around. Lake Moondarra is an artificial lake on the Leichhardt River, located about a 20-minute drive north out of Mount Isa town. The area I've come down to this morning is called Transport Bay, and it's a great collection of amenities here, perfect for you to come down to if you want to bring the family, or if you're just passing through and want to have a bit of a picnic and a stretch of the old lakes, so I'll show you around.
Just 16 kilometres downstream from Mount Isa lies Lake Moondarra, an incredible outback oasis that's way more than just a water source. Originally known as the Leichhardt River Dam, it was constructed to address the growing water needs of Mount Isa and the expanding mining operations there. The name Moondarra is said to be an Aboriginal word meaning plenty of rain and also thunder, and was chosen by then 9-year-old Danny Driscoll as part of a competition at the local primary school. They've got some barbies available here if you want to cook yourself up something while you're sitting in this wonderful location. There's also some nice undercover seating available looking out over the lake. And you're also probably not going to find these guys anywhere else around town. There's some resident peacocks here at Lake Moondarra, so you can see them in all their glory. There's also a lookout you can come to so you can view out the lake from a beautiful vantage point. Now, I'm here on a weekday morning, but I've been told often on the weekends you'll see residents and visitors here out in the lake on their boats doing all sorts of water activities, so if you got a boat and you're in the area, definitely worth considering. And if you're not feeling like being near the water, you've always got Marina Park, which the locals call Peacock Park. There's a playground for the kids, plenty of seating, both covered and uncovered. There's also some wood barbecues here if you want to have a bit of a cook-up. There's even a basketball court if you want to throw a few hoops. And there's some more of our peacock friends here as well. So if you're in Mount Isa and you're looking for something to head out and do, I definitely recommend coming to Lake Moondarra. This afternoon I've come down to the Outback at Isa Centre and I'm heading on to the Hard Time Mines tour. So I'll take you along for the ride, see what we can film and give you a review afterwards. All right, see you in there, team. Mount Isa is considered the mining capital of Australia, and when the Mount Isa mines stopped offering tours in the real mine, the local mayor jumped into action, building a space where tourists could come and experience some of the history of mining. The Hard Times Mine Underground Tour gives you the opportunity to see some of the conditions that miners have worked in the past and get hands-on with some of their equipment. Our tour guide for the day was Steve, who had worked in the mines for 60 years, and he was absolutely brilliant. Not a great deal of filming was allowed on the tour due to safety concerns, but I'll share with you what I can. You start by getting overalls and a helmet, and then are taken through a yard full of mining equipment, with the guides giving you descriptions of what they're all used for. Once you've been given your head torch and had a little chat about safety, you jump into the Alimak cage and begin the short descent underground. The tour is then about 2 and a bit hours of the guide showing you through the mine, talking about some of the history and equipment that they used as mining evolved, at some points getting to try out some of the mining tools yourself, and then it ends with the guide sharing some stories with you, having a pasty and a tea or coffee in the crib room.
Wow, the Hard Times Mine tour. That was so fun. I really enjoyed myself. So it was about 3 hours all up and just gave some great information, a little bit about the history of mining in Mount Isa, machines they've used, the techniques they've used. Tour guide Steve, absolutely amazing. Fully recommend him. He was great, such a character, so funny and super informative as well. So I think it was definitely worth doing. I think if you're in Mount Isa, I think it's definitely a tour that you should try and find time to do. Yeah, so if you're in Mount Isa, I would definitely recommend checking it out.
The tour costs 85 Australian for adults and 50 for children, and there's some rates for concession card holders and families as well that give a bit of a better deal. Mount Isa locals also get a discounted rate.
We've driven out to Mary Kathleen today to check it out. Mary Kathleen's a old disused uranium mine and the associated township. So we'll take you around and show you what we've seen. Now team, you are going to need your 4-wheel drive to get out here as well. There's a bit of off-road rugged country tracking to get out to the mine site from the town. So the uranium here was discovered in the 50s and the town popped up and they started the uranium mine, which went through until the early 1980s where the uranium dried up and the contracts finished and the town was auctioned off. Pretty interesting part of Australian history. Definitely worth coming and seeing if you're out this way. So we'll show you the abandoned ghost town here and show you around the mine pit here a little bit as well. So sit back and enjoy that. Now we'll take you through and show you some of the town that used to be here, or what's left of it. In its peak, there was just over 1,000 people here. And then when the mine closed in the 80s, everything sort of drifted away. Now the town's just a few concrete slabs around. It's all that remains. Now, the cameras don't really do the magnitude of this place justice. I'll throw up some drone shots for you that I've taken. Might give a bit of a better scale for you, but this place is absolutely massive. If you're enjoying the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you like what we're doing. There'll be more of this. All right, back to the action. Now team, as with a few of these other spots, you are going to need your 4-wheel drive to come here. Today we're taking you down to the Warrigal Waterhole, or the Painted Rock as it's sometimes referred to by the locals. It's a really special, culturally significant place for the local Kalkadoon people, and it's really exciting to come here and be able to share some of that with you guys. Not much has been written about the significance of the Warragul waterhole. However, we can tell from the cave paintings up here that it's a significant site for the local Kalkadoon people, the Indigenous Australians that live in this area. Because this is a culturally significant site, remember to be respectful, leave only footprints and take only memories. Gonna sit in the car and have a chat about that one because it's a bit hot out there, so I'll get the aircon on. The Warragul waterhole, I feel like that was really special. You know those places you go to and it just feels like there's something a little bit bigger than yourself and something a bit magical about it. It had that sort of feel, and obviously the local Kalkadoon people have that feeling as well with the rock art that they've painted there, signifying that it's a significant place for them. So although it's a bit of a drive to get out here in the 4-wheel drive, I think it's definitely worth coming out here for the trip, guys. Yeah, I think that was a really special place. I'm here in the tail end of the dry season as well, so if you're here during the wet season when there's been a bit of rain, it'll obviously be a great place to cool off as well. All right, see you in the next location, team.